Finance Minister Punjab, Mr. Jitendra Yadav, Mr. Ravi Gupta, very distinguished panelists on the dais, ladies and gentlemen. We are very lucky to have this conference in Chandigarh at this very important time, when Government of Punjab is launching a very big initiative in this area, and we call it Digital Punjab. We are doing it on an architecture which is based on the India enterprise architecture. The very basis of Punjab vision is the digital footprint which is coming around across the globe. Look at the digital footprint around the globe. 7.6 billion people, 55% in urban areas. 54% is the internet penetration across the globe. But these are July 2018 figures. 44% are active social media users. 67% have unique mobile numbers. And 40% are active mobile social media users. Compare it with India's figure, 1.33 billion people, 33% urbanization. So we have a lot of scope there, at least 20% more urbanization to come. Penetration of internet usage is about 35%, likely to go up to 40%, 45% in the next 2 years. Active social media users is 14%, but that's also the number of smartphones we have in the entire ecosystem. And about 80% is the mobile subscription. If you look at the social platform today, and you add up the numbers, the total numbers is perhaps more than the global population, the total population on the earth. 2.2 billion people on the Facebook, YouTube again 1.9 billion people, WhatsApp 1.5 billion people, and then you have other social media users. The mobile is gaining importance, a lot of importance. April 2018 data says that monthly mobile data usage averages 2.7 GB per month. These are the global figures. Now, why I am sharing these figures? Because this is the very basis on which Digital Punjab has been designed. When the new government came in last year, a new bill was brought in, and this was Punjab Transparency and Accountability in Delivery of Public Service Act 2018. Now this is a law, this has been passed, and this is in force now. Punjab is the first state wherein electronic service has been made mandatory through law. First time this has happened in India. It says, the bill has provisions that every government department within the next 3 years will provide every service in electronic format, in a time-bound manner. And they have to specify the total schedule within 180 days. 180 days they have to notify their entire plan. And if any service cannot be provided online, they'll have to explain why it cannot be done. So you get on and seat for the service request. This has been made mandatory. You get a ticket number. That will make the back-end computerization of all public services mandatory for the government, mandatory for every department. And when we go in for back-end computerization, process reasoning will have to be done. Then a very healthy system of incentives and disincentives for public authorities and their staff. The user who gets the service will be able to rate the service. And based on that rating, the person who is providing the service will be rated. That will be entered in his ACR. Again, this has happened for the first time. Intimation or tracking of application status online, again, is mandatory as per law. They'll have to provide provision for tracking the request. This would be available on the mobile, this would be available on the web. And if somebody is not satisfied with the quality of service, a very simplified redressal mechanism, grievance redressal mechanism, and a appeal system has been put in place with only one chief commissioner, while most of the cases would be sorted out at the level of the deputy commissioner or the secretary is concerned. If somebody is not able to get justice at that level, then there is a chief commissioner who is not working under the government, who is independent of the government. He will look into that. Now, if you look at the government as a whole, we have been hearing this one government, single integrated portal. But this has not been implemented so far in letter and spirit anywhere. So some basic features, you all are aware of these basic features. The most important feature here is integrated interface for communication and messaging. Now, whenever we talk to the government, you can talk to the government through email, through SMS, through WhatsApp, through a physical application, through web portal. But none of these different modes of communication are integrated. एक बंदा दरखास्त लिखनी शुरू करता है, वो प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया से शुरू करता है, प्रेसिडेंट ऑफ इंडिया, प्राइम मिनिस्टर, चीफ मिनिस्टर, 20 लोगों को एड्रेस करता है और एड्रेस उस दरखास्त की 20 कापियां घूमती हैं. Creates a lot of confusion. So we are saying that there has to be a single interface. Whatever the citizen says has to be integrated. So that's a very important aspect of it. Then service evaluations, ratings, feedbacks by the citizen. That is another very important thing. And alerts and escalations. You are not able to get solution, your request will be escalated. Then next comes the number of services. Right now, as I speak, 100 services, they are available online. The other services are offline. In 6 months' time, we want to go to 150 services. And in about 18 months' time, 300 services. In 2 years' time, I want to have all services online. And we are working towards it in a very systematic manner. Now, before I move forward, now I want to make it very clear as to what Digital Punjab means for the common man. IT वालों के लिए बड़ा अच्छा है, very exciting, but what it means to the common man. To the common man, there are 3 goals which we are achieving. Digital infrastructure, good governance, and digital empowerment of sector. Now, under the digital infrastructure, the government is committed to facilitate broadband for all sectors. That is facilitating broadband, not providing broadband. Similarly, internet access in all the schools and colleges, access to smartphones, and Aadhaar-seeded bank accounts. So that's the digital infrastructure, that's the basic infrastructure. Along with that, you have a Punjab wide area network. We are now trying to go on an RF network, which is at least 50 Mbps point to point, and major points will be connected with 300 Mbps. Now, as far as good governance is concerned, you have service on demand. Any new service is launched by the government, we should be able to offer it online, say within 24 hours. The provisioning of the service will be so quick. Every service will be provided on the mobile. So therefore, anytime, anywhere, any device service. Feedback mechanism, as I already discussed. And very importantly, will promote the public participation and use of social media when we get feedback on different policy matters in the government. Now, digital empowerment of citizens, you have digital literacy. Every citizen will have to be made digitally literate. Unless we do that, we will not be able to reap the benefit of digital India and digital Punjab. And then ease of doing business. No business person should come to contact with any government employee. So that is the ultimate aim we have. And everything is done online. Everything is rule based. Everything is done online. It's a time bound thing. So doing business, we have to ease that doing business practices. And then electronic and cashless financial transactions. So very important thing is traceability of transaction, especially when you are providing for the poorer section. The entire money should go to DBT, direct benefit transfer. Sari chori pakdi jati. So this is another important thing which we are looking at. So this is the architecture we are talking about. We want to have a unified platform for provision of service. There is an infrastructure layer. On top of that, there is master data management layer, where you have all kinds of master data: citizen, employees, business, schemes, GIS, things, policies, rules, bank codes, sector codes, revenue codes, other codes. So that entire master database is there. Then you have API gateway, because every service will access this master database through the gateway. And then you have all kinds of citizen services. And then you have application portfolios. You have common applications, you have group applications. On top of common applications, you have core applications. And then you have departmental applications. And finally, you provide this service through presentation layer. Multiple ways this service can be accessed. So here is another view. When you interact, you connect all parts with APIs. And that's how you provide the unified platform, which really is the call for today. I just want to talk about the Punjab enterprise architecture here. In this architecture, everything is connected. Everything is consistent. Everything is based on open standards. We are not locking into any vendor. We are not locking into any technology. And provisioning of the service has been made very, very easy. You have network, you have application servers, you have database servers, you have cloud servers. You have all kinds of information, you have all kinds of application portfolios, as I said. And there are multiple delivery channels. It could be web, it could be kiosk, it could be call centers, could be chatbots, could be SMS, face-to-face, or very importantly, mobile. Mobile would always be a preferred mode if I want to talk to millennials. And you have different stakeholders, citizens, employees, businesses, vendors, partners, central government departments. So that's how we connect everybody on this Punjab enterprise architecture, which is based on India enterprise architecture. And let me tell you, this is based on Andhra Pradesh enterprise architecture. Now they commissioned a team of experts, a consultant. Took 3 years, spent 15 crores to develop this architecture. Then Govt of India started work on top of that. They spent 1.5 crores and they came up with India enterprise architecture, making it more generic, technology agnostic. And now we have taken from there and we have further modified. So we are taking advantage of both. Now how we plan to build applications? We plan to build applications by small building blocks. We have service building blocks, we have service guidance and templates, sample business services, and all this is based on the microservice architecture. So each building block is then broken down to microservices. And these microservices are then called for provision of every service. And constantly we'll be optimizing these microservices. So everything is built up out of these microservices. So there are common microservices, there are departmental microservices. And if I talk about the building blocks, different kind of calls which we take in the government. Either it is the lodgement of the application, data verification, service document management, service tracking and reporting, service feedback, call management, then business workflow management, service charter management. If you draw the flow chart for any government service, these are the only building blocks you will come across. Beyond these building blocks, there is nothing. And what we try to do is try to prepare these building blocks based on the microservice architecture. And once we are able to do that, it will be very easy to provide service across India. Then as I discussed that we have core applications, we have common applications, then we have group applications and department applications. So core applications are those which are based on the very basic services, infrastructure services. So you have enterprise portal, enterprise application store, India stack, API gateway, middleware, SMS mobile gateway, identity access management, knowledge management, enterprise security management. All these are part of the core application. Core applications will be used in each and every service project. And then we have common applications which are used by all departments. Say e-procurement, or financial management system, or e-tender, or e-cabinet, or office management. Now, all these are applications which will be used by each and every department. So we are not reinventing the wheel. For example, we just implemented e-office with 100,000 licenses. We have organized 100,000 licenses and we are taking it to the district level. So most of the file movement we are eliminating. And even that file movement we are converting into a service transaction. For example, if somebody wants a license, a gun license, तो पहले जाके वो एप्लीकेशन फॉर्म खरीदता था, भरता था, 25 जगह उसका एफिडेविट लगाता था और फिर वो 20 जगह उसकी फाइल घूमती थी. So now everything is online. So wherever any physical input is required, that will be entered by the department concerned. For example, अगर उसकी फिजिकल वेरिफिकेशन होनी है, जिस गांव का पता दिया है वहाँ रहता है कि नहीं रहता है, तो नियरेस्ट जो सांझ केंद्र है वहाँ का एक पर्सन उसके घर जाएगा, वेरिफिकेशन करके आके सिस्टम ही डालेगा, एप्लीकेशन पे कुछ नहीं लिखा. So you have common applications. And then you have group applications. So these group applications are for number of departments. For example, education. You have school education, higher education, technical education, medical education, agricultural education. You have engineering departments, PWD is there, Mandi Board is there, irrigation. So these are all departments which are alike and their systems are alike. And then we have very specific departmental applications where we have no commonality. Those applications would also be built. Then we took up a very detailed exercise of the existing applications. Now, wherever you see the black boxes, these are the applications which we are retaining. These are group application, common application, and core application. And then, wherever you see the orange one, those are the applications which we are modifying. Green ones are the new applications. You see, in core applications, most of the applications are new applications because now we are going on to the enterprise architecture, Punjab enterprise architecture. So that is why core applications will have to be changed. And the red ones we are retiring. We will retire in due course. Similarly, in departmental applications, so that is the scenario. So most of the applications are either being retired or they are being upgraded. But some are also being retained. And we have a very fixed timeline for achieving this. Year 1, that is 2018-19, we have picked up 7 to 8 priority departments. Also, we will be putting in place the enterprise architecture, critical infrastructure we are revamping, and core and common services will be concentrating on. And the total bill is likely to be 190 crores. Because we are taking up the common services here in the first year itself, we'll have to. There are no way out. Year 2, we'll put 300 services online and cover about 30 departments, 90 crores. Third year, 450 online services, 45 departments, 80 crores. And fourth year, all services online and operational. And all departments back and popularization, 70 crores. So in all about 430 crores to be spent in 4 years. So that is roughly the plan. And we'll generate this money out of the services we are providing. You are aware of Punjab Seva Kendras. We had earlier model wherein the government was paying about 1,400 crores in 5 years to the service provider. Now we have revamped that whole thing. And now instead of we paying him, he is paying us with improved services. And that money will be utilized here. Also, we are approaching the World Bank. Honorable Minister has already had 2 very successful meetings with World Bank. And I'm very sure that this will come through. And in 4 years' time, we will put this in place. Rather, you will feel the effect right at the end of the first year itself. And then other services will keep on adding. In the end, I'll only say that the citizen services ideas of next 1,000 hit services, it's very easy to forecast. Take a service X, authenticate it with Aadhaar, seed the bank account, and then add technologies. What technologies? Artificial intelligence, business intelligence, machine learning, blockchain, neural networks, big data. Add mobile, add other platforms. And then will and the commitment of the government. And you have digital Punjab. Thank you.